Good morning and welcome once again to this ongoing inaugural session of 10th edition of Elets Security Summit. We have now the industry leader from here from Microsoft India, Mr. Navtez Bal. A brief introduction of Mr. Navtez Singh Bahal. Navtez leads the government, public sector and education business for Microsoft in India. Prior to joining Microsoft in 2020, Navtej was a senior partner at McKinsey and Company in New Delhi. He holds an MBA from the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, and a Bachelor's of Engineering in Electrical Engineering from the Delhi College of Engineering. Navtej has worked across sectors like industrials, metals and mining, power, chemicals, oil and gas, technology and infrastructure on core themes spanning digital transformation, business buildings, strategy, and organization to drive both business impact and build institutional capability to scale up. Navtej has a deep experience in tech enabling core operations service lines, capex, supply chain and logistics, procurement, manufacturing, service operations, etc. across industries. Navtej Bahal is passionate about supporting public sector and education drive digitally enabled performance improvement transformations. In addition, Navtej Bahal is involved in helping the government build out national data platforms to drive both governance and citizen services for the nation. So with this, I would like to invite Navtej Singh Bahal, Director Public Sector Microsoft India, for the inaugural session of 10th Elite Security Summit, Leveraging Technology for Securing India, Blueprint for a Resilient India. Over to you, Navtej.
Thank you, Krishna, for the introduction. I just wanted to say that we are actually going through the greatest structural transformation in our economy in a generation. And when it comes to cybersecurity, the threat landscape has never been so complex and challenging as we are witnessing now. In our estimate, the cost of cybercrime was roughly 6 trillion annually in the year of 2021. And the increase in digital attack surfaces coupled with sophistication of attacks has amplified that further, right? Today, across industries, as digital transformation accelerates, security is at an inflection point. On top of that, the rapid adoption of digital tools and shift towards new ways of working demands new ways to collaborate with each other in a secure way. And this digital transformation is also bringing lots of challenges. New levels of supply chain and ransomware attacks are a powerful reminder that we must all work together in new ways to protect the cybersecurity of the country. In our recent yearly Defense Digital Report, we share insights, data and signals from across Microsoft, including the endpoints, cloud, and the edge. In India, we have witnessed an ongoing surge in ransomware. We have seen business email compromise, phishing, identity theft, and targeted attacks to critical infrastructure. These attacks can potentially take down services critical to run the business or economy. In a nutshell, the threat landscape is becoming increasingly complex as nation-state attacks are expected to grow in frequency and sophistication. For example, for many organizations, there hasn't been a lot of forethought around what happens when an incident occurs. What to do before and after an incident and how to measure the impact and minimize the impact. For many years, organizations would do disaster recovery planning. The annual entire site has gone down exercise. However, we rarely witness a drill into the impact of a data breach. Okay, organizations rarely dry run what happens when information is leaked that may enable others to misuse identities. Now, the Microsoft point of view here is, that the foundation of technology should be built on trust by design and security for all, with the clear objective to safeguard your people, data, and infrastructure. And what I will do is I will share with you a few points around what our philosophy is. So the first point is protect everything. Okay. Safeguard your entire organization across platforms, environments, people, identities, and so on. Second, simplify the complex. At the end, you have to prioritize the right risks and you have to use unified management tools. Third, catch what others will miss, and how do you use AI and automation expertise to help you detect threats quickly, respond effectively. Fourth, build resiliency. Cyber attacks will continue to get more sophisticated. Okay, and companies like Microsoft serve as an ally. You should definitely at some stage have a look at the Microsoft Secure Score, which can help you, assess your security posture, and you can see what your compliance posture is. And based on that, you can continue to strengthen your security and compliance infrastructure. Now, just to give you an example of the scale of threat, Microsoft intercepted more than 32 billion email threats, 31 billion identity threats, 9 billion endpoint threats in the last year itself. And we are tracking more than 40 national state actors and over 140 threat groups. This was only last year, right? And for us, there are three security superpowers which you have to think about. One is end-to-end integration of your systems. Second one is automation, and the third one is AI, right? And our experience from almost 600,000 customers that we serve over 120 countries tells us that these are the three building blocks of any secure environment. Now, what are we hearing from our customers, partners, and the industry, right? I think the first one is that customers, including governments, need simplicity. One of the biggest challenges and the feedback that we hear from our partners, consultants, and government is, how does one simplify the complexity of security without missing on compliance and privacy? The stakes are always very high, okay, for securing identity, data, infrastructure, employees, and so on. The current complexity of security attacks cannot be tackled by the traditional approach. Instead, it requires an end-to-end integrated and simplified solution anchored in zero trust. We have found that a typical organization or an enterprise will have more than 40 to 70 security products from very, very different security organizations, which are often not meant to work together. And you've left it to your IT organization to figure out how these products work together. And cyber criminals take advantage of these gaps between products to breach an organization. And increasingly in our discussions with the security officers worldwide and in India, we are hearing the need to build an integrated approach to close gaps between point solutions and get coverage across the entire multi-platform, multi-cloud environment, which most enterprises are working in today. And this also, by the way, then brings in the need to consolidate security tools, which beyond driving efficiency and effectiveness, they also reduce your procurement cost significantly if you're able to consolidate it well. Finally, the last piece on your question around how are we engaging with government on security. There are 4 programs I would like to highlight. Right, the first one is Cyber Surakshit Bharat. This is an initiative by METI, NEGD, and Industry Consortium, where we are actively engaging with training government security officers on security-related topics. The second one is our worldwide Global Security Program, GSP, through which we share threat intelligence and early signals to mitigate any risk and raise alarm early to support any government. The third one is our digital crime unit that actually works with international legal and internet security experts, helping them employ the latest tool and technologies. And finally, we've actually also been working on empowering women on security skilling, which is called Cyber Siksha. It's a special initiative we are driving with industry to partner the underprivileged for training, mentorship, and additional support in generating employment for them through the topic of security itself, cybersecurity itself. So in short, our approach to conclude, our approach to security is organizing identity, security compliance, as well as device management into an independent solution and extending this protection to all data, whether it's on-prem, hybrid, cloud, across devices, identity, and platform, while keeping the privacy of users and business intact. And our ambition is to help every government and organization adopt a zero trust architecture while also reducing the complexity, cost, and risk. That's all I had to share, Krishna. With that,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Navtez Bal, for that short crisp and to the point address. We hope that organizations like Microsoft India will be having a very effective partnership with the government of India, because the need of the hour is that as and when we are going to digitize, and in the post-COVID world, the digitization has become almost inevitable. Now it has become basic survival tool. So looking forward to more effective partnerships between the industry and the government and the civil society. Thank you so much, Mr. Navtez Bal. That was Navtez Singh Bahal, Director Public Sector, Microsoft India, at the inaugural session of 10th Elets Security Summit. Thank you so much, Mr. Bahal.
Thank you, Krishna.